the three sparky older people before the break. Andrew, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Joe.
You're sparky as well. We were talking yesterday about hospital charges. You say, go ahead, your story about coming out of car parks. You're very
Well, I was very bold.
You're very bold. Okay, go ahead.
Very bold, and it was said in a light-hearted way. There was a fortunate gentleman on yesterday complaining about the enormous charges he had to pay on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
But I think on two occasions in my past, I've been embarrassed at having no money at all, or a ticket in one case where I couldn't find anyone there was no machine to get money from. But it happened to be in the past one time. I was leaving one of these places with a barrier.
Car park, yeah.
Done whatever I had to do. The barrier of Dublin that I drove, and I noticed somebody coming behind me, and they came out on the same, under the same barrier which I went out.
So you do this now? You tailgate coming out of?
No, I don't do it regularly. No, I do it twice.
But are you not afraid of your car getting a smack at a barrier?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I don't. I think I think the barriers are intelligent,
okay.
And they wouldn't go down on the car. If it went down on my car, it wouldn't make much difference.
Okay. Thanks, Andrew. Let me go to Robbie and Tony quickly. Robbie, you are working in Dublin City Council.
I am, Joe. Yeah.
And Sports and Leisure. You've applied for the firefighter job because you're in the council.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. There's a couple of points I just want to make, really, Joe. If we can. The only thing I really have to say is I don't think the fire brigade are really looking for. You know, the girl area was saying about librarians and all. They're not really looking for 50-year-old librarians and stuff. But the only thing I can say is in my department, there's a lot of lads in my department going for it. These are very fit lads, I'm a gym instructor and I consider myself very fit. There is people in Dublin City Council super for the job, Joe.
Of course there would be, but Kate's point is her son was Fireman Sam from when he was 12 years. I've done all the courses. Like when you went in, did you go into Dublin City Council to become a fireman?
Oh no, I went to the Dublin City Council coming off. I played football for a while and I went into the sports department.
You see, Kate's point was, I know you're totally entitled to go, and I hope you get it, Robbie, but the point she was making was if she had known that it was only going to be from within the council, she would have told her son to take up any job in the council in the last few years instead of holding out. Let me bring Tony in. Tony, good afternoon.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Tony, you're with Dublin City Council as well?
Yeah, that's correct.
What are you doing in there?
I'm in water services at the moment.
Okay, and what did you go in as, Tony?
I spoke to you last year. I was one of the binmen that got redeployed last year.
Oh, of course, when the Greyhound and all that came in.
Yeah.
So have you applied for the firefighter's job?
I've applied this time and I applied 3 times in the past as well, which weren't successful, so I'm hoping this works in my favour now this time that I can get in.
Well, obviously the numbers that can apply is reduced because there's only have to be already working there. And what do you think might go against you?
Yeah, it's like I'm 40, so there's going to be a lot of younger lads than me applying, so hopefully it doesn't go against me, but I reckon it will.
And when you applied before, were you in the council?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. And did you join the council to become a fireman?
No, well, when I got a job in the council, the jobs were pretty hard to come by, so it was a job and I took it. It was in waste management at the time.
Well, best of luck anyway. What age are you, Robbie?
Well, I'm 24, Joe.
Okay. Yeah. Best of luck to both of you. That's Tony and Robbie applying for the job because they can, and that was Kate's point. Her son can't, and that's why she took up the issue so strongly. Just a couple of things before I go. Remember Ryan Dolan tomorrow night in the Eurovision, especially. I know we've lots of listeners abroad, as there's going to be a televote. We can't vote for Ryan here in Ireland, but you can if you're abroad. So now more than ever, we hopefully will win the Eurovision. The Ballyshannon Museum that we covered in Local Heroes on Wednesday night is on every Wednesday night at 8:30. Local Heroes. The Ballyshannon Museum are still looking for any artefacts, Rory Gallagher, anything like that can fit into their museum. Still welcome on the main street there in Ballyshannon and Slevins department store. The BCO's Len Conlon, Gar Duffy's on sound, Ailish O'Shea is the researcher, the series producer Siobhan Hock, and today's producer was Tim Desmond. We're back on Monday. Mooney is next with Olin McGowan. 1850 715 815 stays open until 3:15.
protein problems and the over-farming of livestock and so on. Apart from that, we're looking forward to some significant activity with our nest white birds over the coming days, so do stay tuned. That's all to come after News Now with Eileen Dunn.
Good afternoon. On the first day of the Oireachtas Health Committee hearings on the draft abortion legislation, the Fine Gael Senator Paul Bradford described as bizarre the decision of the Minister for Health, James Riley, to leave after his opening statement. Earlier, the state's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Tony Holohan, told the hearing on the Protection of Life During Pregnancy bill that he doesn't expect the number of women seeking terminations on suicide grounds to be significant. The President of the Medical Council, Professor Kieran Murphy, outlined its recommended changes to the draft legislation, including the belief that 2 psychiatrists would be sufficient to determine whether a woman is at risk of suicide that can only be averted by a termination. Professor Murphy also said the Council would like to see amendments in the case of conscientious objection by a medical professional. Proposed new legislation to establish a framework for Oireachtas inquiries, including the probe into the banking crisis, will allow witnesses to recoup legal costs if their good name is called into question. Documentation published this afternoon by the government has said witnesses will not be required to have a lawyer, but could have one at their own expense. An information note also said it wouldn't be the case that an inquiry would be taken out of the hands of Oireachtas members and conducted by legal experts. The legislation is intended to provide assistance to a banking inquiry, but can be used for other investigations. The 4 teachers' unions, which all rejected the Croke Park 2 proposals, are meeting to consider whether to accept an invitation from the Labour Relations Commission to talks seeking a negotiated settlement. The INTO, the ASTI, the TUI and the IFUT are currently balloting for industrial action in the event that the government imposes pay cuts to secure an extra €1 billion in payroll savings. Gardaí, investigating a number of complaints of sexual assault in the Waterford area in the 1980s, are questioning a former sports coach. The man, aged in his 60s, was arrested in Waterford City this morning. The Health Service Executive has confirmed that 13 people have now been treated for the parasitic disease cryptosporidiosis arising from the pollution of the public water supply in County Roscommon. The agency said it couldn't confirm how many people had been hospitalised as a result of the outbreaks in Roscommon and Boy. An investigation into the source of the pollution is continuing.
RTE Radio 1 Weather.